So DeForest Buckner's had an interesting offseason. As we'll learn, he had a daughter. And that now he's got 3 small ones at home while trying to prepare to have a really good season for the Indianapolis Colts. And so that's a lot on a man's plate, right? Rehabbing from an ankle, all of that stuff we hear from DeForest Buckner.
This time around, obviously having an infant, especially being a girl, it's more kind of like, when you're tired and stuff like that, it's kind of like, oh, what do you need, baby girl? Versus, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what now? So.
Just wait like 14 years.
Yeah, I know. That's what everybody keeps telling me.
Mother's Day is Sunday, so.
Oh, yeah. I got some stuff teed up for Mother's Day.
Yeah. Hey, now that you've had some time with Lou, what are your first takeaways and first impressions?
Yeah, with Lou, I mean, it's been, obviously when we first hired him and everything, I got to talk to him on the phone and see him in person and stuff like that earlier in the off season, and we had some great conversations, just about like, mindset and, how we're going to move forward and things like that as a defense, and wanting to be, one of the top defenses in the league, and what it's going to take, from obviously character, accountability, work ethic wise, and all the things, and obviously the trust factor, and from coaches to players, players to coaches, and players to players, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like we're all on the same page, and it's been some great energy, and when I was doing my research up on them and stuff like that, I saw that a lot of the players back in Cincy used to call them the mad scientists, and I found out why when I got the first install. You know what I mean? Just like it's been some good stuff. So it gets the guys going and communicating, and there's been a lot of communication the past couple of days out there on the field. So it's been great.
This is such a different defense now from January. I mean, coordinator, and then you get the safety, you get a corner, you get JT. Mm-hmm. Does that sort of excite you for what this defense can be and grow?
Yeah, most definitely. You know what I mean? The great additions that we made in the free agency and the draft. Obviously with the coaches and it'll some of the guys here too, be able to utilize some of their skill sets in this defense and keep offenses guessing. Not everything's going to always look the same, or there's going to be a bunch of different looks. And it's going to be fun.
You said at the end of the season that you want, to the organization to make some moves in free agency. Mm-hmm. When they signed Borden Bynum.
Yeah.
What did that mean for you?
No, yeah, I mean, I was excited, you know what I mean? I feel like obviously Moody and Bynum, they both are, both dynamic players, big playmakers, bringing a lot of energy, to the defense, and I think they're going to help us a lot, obviously moving forward, and I'm excited to, get to play alongside them.
How do you see Lou's, like the way that he deploys his coverages with disguises and just being multiple back there? How do you see that helping you guys out in front?
Oh, I mean, even just watching the film and seeing, you just explained today, and one of the looks, you know what I mean? It's gonna, look like a certain coverage for the offense, and then you got guys dropping out, on a critical third down, and quarterback hitches, and Rush is able to get home, and it's just like little things like that, where it's supposed to be a quick game, and he thinks it's man, it's a certain zone, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's not there. Now he's just trying to tuck it and run, and Rush gets there. So it's like little things like that on those third and shorts where we can steal it down and things like that. So it's been awesome to really learn and watch, see it on film, see it come to life, and really go out there and do it.
But what changes, if anything, for you at this point in your career, just like off-season training wise? Do you think with your body that as you've gotten up there in reps that it changed?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working with my trainer a lot in the off season, and we both talked about just getting more quality reps than the quantity. You know what I'm saying, when I'm working out and stuff like that. I think it's been working out really well, and also just picking up some new things. I did some early in the off season. I usually just stick with like some cardio and some core, and try not to do too much heavy impact stuff, and picked up some Pilates. You know what I mean? And inner thigh muscles. Burn. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. Got a lot of respect for that.
But when at the end of last season, you talked about, hey, we need more accountability on our side of the ball and things like that. How do you think Lou can help with that? Obviously, it's early, but his first day here, he was like, I don't care what your resume is.
Yeah.
You have to prove it.
No, yeah, and he relayed that message to the group. You know what I mean? Which I love, and I mean it keeps everybody on their toes and making sure they're in their playbook, doing the right things, and on and off the field, and it's encouraging. You know what I'm saying? As a competitor, as a player, when you got that type of accountability coming from the coach, and now it's up to the players to relay that message amongst each other.
Have you felt the need at all to specifically talk to Anthony just about where he's at entering a critical season, or is that something that different side of the ball?
No, I mean, I'm sure at some point I'm gonna, have a conversation with him and stuff like that to really catch up. It's just been, obviously it's, I mean, he's got his things that he's working on right now, and I'm still dealing with my schedule after here at home and getting things right with 3 little ones. So, trying to get that dynamic down. So, but at some point I'll definitely have that conversation. You know what I mean? And but I can tell just from watching the past couple of days or past week or so. I mean, he's dialed in.
What's been your interaction with Samson and his return from the Achilles? And I mean, what do you expect? I mean, that's a tough injury.
Yeah, it is a tough injury, and I've been here throughout his rehab process when he was out here rehabbing because I stayed out here like all through February, and then left for about 5 weeks. So I was here while he's been rehabbing and coming in and getting my treatment and stuff like that as well. And just seeing how optimistic he's been and seeing how hard he's been working and everything to get back, and he's been looking really good. And so I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do coming back on a comeback season. I know he's excited to go out there and prove to everybody what he can do.
Sort of can be a wild card because you don't know what to expect from a guy coming off that injury.
Yeah, for sure. And I think usually with any injury, I mean, obviously his one is a major one, but when you're coming off of any injury, it's just getting that confidence back. You know what I'm saying? And I think when the bullets are flying in training camp and he's really out there and cleared, it might be a little integration period where he's kind of getting used to full speed movements all over again. But I think Samson will be back to full strength just based off of the rehab and the work he's been putting in.
That's DeForest Buckner, kind of the anchor of that group that is a strength of the defense. You hope the secondary is better. You have real questions about the linebacker positions, right? But the defensive line, that's a place where you're really not too worried about either the tonnage or the quality, right? Quantity and quality. You got a lot in that defensive line. Chris Ballard always says, we build from the inside out, and he didn't play in games with that defensive line. They draft JT in the second round. You've got Ebicom coming back. You've got Buckner and Stewart now both on the wrong side of 30. You've got Pay. You've got Latu. You've got Lewis. You've got a lot of defensive linemen who can flat play football, and you hope that DeForest Buckner's got enough left in him to give you a couple of years at that defensive tackle position at an elite level, right? He's got to come up to elite level. And if he does that, then this defense can really get humming.